I hope you have been enjoying watching my family work through the Gospel of Mark. The intent of what we're doing is not to provide answers, but to stimulate discussion. It might be an internal discussion for you if you're isolated by yourself, and that's good too. So I hope you have been inspired to continue on in your reading of the Gospel of Mark. And let's see what my family has to say today about chapter 4.
Parables are fun. Because they're like little stories.
It's just like parables are fun.
It is. They're like little stories. And I like those.
I like verse 9 when it says, "Then he said, anyone with ears to hear should listen and understand," because it kind of shows how, like, even in today's society, people like don't really listen, or they listen, but they don't like fully like listen, if that makes sense. So they pay attention sort of, but they tune out what you're saying. So it's saying, since you were given ears, you should use them for what they're supposed to be used for, and that's to listen and pay attention to everyone.
It seems like a lot of these stories in here, though, are talking about things that grow.
About plants.
Yeah, they talked about the growing seed and the mustard seed, and it started
About
off
roots.
with the farmer that was sowing his seeds. So
About roots.
I don't know if that is a correlation for anything, but they all talk about plants.
Jesus was a farmer.
But then it goes to him calming the storm.
I'll talk about the calming the storm. I like verse 39 when it says, "When Jesus woke up, he rebuked the wind and said to the waves, 'Silence, be still.' Suddenly the wind stopped and there was a great calm." That's just crazy to think that, like, he can stop, like, the winds and the storms from happening. And then it said, then he asked them, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" The disciples were absolutely terrified. "Who is this man?" they asked to each other. "Even the winds and the waves obey him." So it just shows how powerful Jesus and God are.
What do you guys think verses 11 through 12 mean?
Oh, I knew you were going to do that one.
Can someone read verses 11 and 12?
It says, "He told them, 'The secret of the kingdom of God has been given to you, but to those on the outside everything is said in parables, so that they may never be ever seeing but never perceiving, and ever hearing but never understanding. Otherwise they might turn and be forgiven.'"
Do you want me to read my version? That's less complicated.
Sure.
It says, "He replied, 'You are permitted to understand the secret of the kingdom of God, but I use parables for everything I say to outsiders, so that the scriptures may be fulfilled. When they see what I do, they will learn nothing. When they hear what I say, they will not understand. Otherwise they will turn to me and be forgiven." Well, to me, it's like when they say what I do, they will learn. So he's kind of saying, like, if they see, he has to speak in parables, because if he spoke in like normal everyday sentences, they won't learn anything from that, and they won't learn any lessons anyway.
I get it.
Yeah.
It may not. What do you say?
Well, I'm just saying that people do learn a lot better from a story than they do just from being told
Well,
something.
also-
Well, he's just saying that, like, it's like your parents telling you to do something. You're not going to learn it when your parents just tell you to do something, because you're like, I don't want to do that. So he's like, you have to learn it on your own. That way you understand it. Like when you buy something, if you buy something on your own, you're going to value it better. Like, I haven't broken this phone yet because I'm paying for it. But, like, my phones beforehand got broke. Not necessarily because I didn't value them, but because I wasn't the one necessarily paying for them, so I didn't value them as much.
It could also be like the boy who cried wolf, where he was told, like, "Hey, stop saying that there are wolves because no one's going to believe you," but he kept doing it until he learned himself that no one will believe him if he keeps saying that there are wolves.
This chapter we saw the introduction of Jesus teaching in parables. One of the questions to think about, study, maybe do some research on is, why does Jesus teach in parables? Why did he do that? one of my favorite parables lately that was in this chapter is the one that inspires the children's song, This Little Light of Mine. Imagine living in a world where you don't have electricity, where all the light you have comes from a candle. And you light that candle. How silly is it to hide it? I mean, that's your light. And when you hide it, there is no light. I just am really struck by that parable that Jesus tells. So I hope you've enjoyed chapter 4, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we discuss chapter 5.